1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello everyone and welcome to Prodigal Overland. Today we are out in Manistee National Forest for a couple of reasons. One, it's been a little while since we went out and explored. Last times we went out, it was kind of winter, spring hadn't sprung yet, and there were dead branches, trees everywhere, some snow. So spring and summer is here, so we are going to give it a go and see how different things actually look from winter to summer. Second part of this is we're gonna go back and try to find the spot where we got stuck in the mud before. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link up here, you can watch it, but a while back before we had the winch, we got stuck. And I actually needed Jeff to bring his Samurai down to help get us out of that mess, which he was able to do with just a little bit of getting the car started and all that. Anyway, watch the video if you haven't seen it. But anyway, I want to try to get back and see if we can find that spot, see if maybe now we can run that spot. Try it again now that I've got a winch and see what's going on. So anyway, that's what's up for today. We're just going to kind of get out and mess around. If you haven't yet followed us on Instagram or Facebook, go ahead and look us up there. Also, if you've not yet subscribed to our channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video. And hit that bell if you want to know when the videos are coming out. We try to get them out weekly, usually on the weekend. Anyway, without further ado, let's go explore. So I thought it would be good, since we've been hanging out in the Manistee National Forest area for the last almost 3 months now. I thought it would be good and interesting to kind of give you guys a history on the area, specifically a history on the Manistee National Forest. So the Manistee National Forest was actually formed in 1938. It currently makes up 400,000, just over 400,000 acres, spread it, and goes 70 miles east to west, and it's about 30 miles north to south. The land which encompasses the Manistee National Forest was actually, prior to its formation, the forest area had actually been pretty much clear cut. So there had been a lot of lumber and timber pulling from the area. Michigan at that time was one of the leading national producers of lumber for the United States. Land was also kind of cleared off to allow some farming and towns and that sort of thing. So the formation occurred right around the Great Depression time, and when you drive through Manistee National Forest today, what you'll see is that there's still a lot of private property there. Some towns are even located within the National Forest, and the reason for that is, again, back when it was formed, the landowners basically were willing to give up a lot of the unproductive land, but wanted to hang on to the good property. So still today, there is a lot of private ownership within the National Forest. In fact, the friends we're staying with and have been staying with here for the last few months own property within the National Forest. So it was President Theodore Roosevelt who actually kind of at that time was leading conservation efforts, and so it was during his presidency that he had the CCC, or the Civilian Conservation Corps, actually come to the land that they had purchased in the Manistee National Forest to replant the area. And what's interesting about this forest is, and we noticed it as we were coming through, just the very first time when we were coming into the area, when you look off to the side of the road, when you're in the National Forest, you just see rows and rows and rows of pine tree, almost like a tree farm or something like that. And my kids were asking me, like, did they plant? I mean, it looks unnatural. And the reason for that is these red pines were actually planted in the early 1900s, 1930s. That time frame was when a lot of this land was replanted in just straight rows by the Civilian Corps. So you can definitely, as you're driving through, still see the work that they had done. All right, guys, so we made it to the trailhead. I'm kind of going by memory from where we were before. It's been a little while, and if you ask anybody that knows me, my sense of direction is pretty crap. So we're actually using Gaia GPS right now. It's got the National Forest kind of service roads and stuff, so it's kind of off one of these. So we're gonna do our best to find it. I'm gonna set the GoPro up on the Jeep. I got Nora and Caleb here with me today. Nora's got her little action cam going, and Caleb will be doing the drone. So let me get moving here, and we'll see if we can't find that spot. All right, everybody, we made it back to where we got stuck. Things look a little bit different. Everything's a lot greener. When we came out, spring hadn't sprung yet, so there actually, I think there were some flurries that day. So probably was more than a month ago. I don't know. On YouTube it says a month ago, but that can't be right. Anyway, so we found the spot behind me. Let me just show you. So this right here is where the little hill was, the incline. Now, it's not nearly as flooded as it was. I don't know if you remember from the video, but this whole area was, my tires were sitting deep in the mud here. Got some mud here. For sure.
Okay, stop.
You couldn't even see the bottom here. So I'm gonna go for a walk and we'll try to figure out what we're gonna do here. All right, so I most definitely found exactly where we came in. Where we came in just now is actually where we got stuck. But this road here, we came down in the video, came around, because I remember I made this right turn and we were doing fine. This was all just dirt. We were doing fine, and then you can actually see why we had issues here. There's actually a stream running, like just a little, I don't even, creek, runoff, something is running down here. So you can see some tire tracks there. I'm not sure if those are mine or if this was a common spot to try to get through. But we got stuck here, we eventually got going, and then came up around. So I'm gonna walk this and see if this is something we can still give a go at or not. Definitely is still very muddy, and I think it's just because it's fairly dry out here today, but there's still water running down from this creek or whatever this is, and it's kind of leaves this whole area kind of swampy. So we came up through here. You can see these tracks, and came across here and then up and over. I think what I'm gonna try to do is find our way. We're gonna turn around and try to find our way up and come in where we came in originally. And I think we're gonna give it a go. See if we can't get over this. There's a big tree here, kind of come down through over the tree, eventually up over there. So stick around. We're gonna see if I can't figure out how to run this the right way, if I can find a way around to get to where we need to get. Alright guys, so just to give you a little taste of what we're going through here, we're trying to get our way back to the other side of that mud pit we found to see if we can run it. I'm using Gaia GPS, but everything we're on right now isn't on any kind of map. So it's just a matter of trial and error and like, oh, I think we need to be over there kind of thing. Let me show you where we are on the map on the road that doesn't exist. So where that 7535 is, that bend, that elbow, that's where we're trying to get. Everything we've been we were on here and then we're off, and like there's a road here. Well, I don't know if it's a road, 2-track, but it's not on any kind of map. So we're just kind of putzing around to see what we can find. So I'm not sure if we're gonna be able to find our way back or not. I've been kind of scoping and poking in all these little trails, and so far none of those trails have brought us back to where we were that first time. And when we were there the first time, it was the same kind of thing. We just happened to stumble upon it. So, I mean, it's super, super pretty out here. I mean, just gorgeous. Spring's awesome. So the views are good, and actually it's, you know, my buddy Jeff says that this is kind of how the trails are out here. It's just, there's definitely some off-camber situations, uphill, downhill, but you don't really know what you're going to get into unless you're out here a lot and you just memorize what's here. So anyway, we're going to keep trying to find this thing, see how it goes. So while we're driving along here, I did kind of want to talk a little bit more about Gaia GPS. If that's a new app to you or a new program, it's definitely worth checking out. There's lots and lots of features that you can get into as far as route planning. They have different layers of map that you can kind of overlay to really get a sense of where you are. So I definitely, times like this when I'm out in unfamiliar areas, especially because, like I said, my sense of direction is just horrible. It's nice to be able to pull that app up and with the GPS still know where we are. Actually out in the National Forest right now when I'm driving, I don't have any cell signal, but my app on my phone is still tracking pretty much where we're at. So that's been a big help to us. So I think it's worth checking out. Also, as I kind of mentioned just a minute ago, it's important to note that not everything on Gaia, or let me rephrase that, not everything that you're going to experience out in the woods here, these 2 tracks and these little off paths are in Gaia. Gaia gives you kind of the main thoroughfares within the National Forest, so it's easier to get back to, but trails like this that you go down on and the forest is kind of coming in and around you, you're not going to find on Gaia GPS. So sometimes you get out a little bit, what looks like a trail, and then you come kind of to the end of that and it's clear that it just kind of stops. And then it's this trick of trying to turn around in some very tight quarters. So anyway, little notes on Gaia. There's a lot on the internet that you can look up on Gaia, other reviews, that sort of thing. So I'm not going to repeat that, but definitely the information's out there if you want more. Alright guys, welcome to day 2 of trying to get to this mud hole and find the right way in. Like I said, we found it yesterday and I thought, well, maybe I can go out and find kind of where we came in originally when I had originally gotten stuck, and so we drove around a little bit and we weren't able to find that. So I don't know where I'm going to put this in the video, but that's what happened yesterday. What happened last night was we had a big storm blow through. So this morning, it's cleared out. This morning, I grabbed Sammy and I said, let's go out and we'll just kind of go through the mud hole like in the back way, turn around and come back the way I originally did to try to replicate how I got stuck and see if I can not get stuck. So we head out this morning and we're noticing a lot more debris on the ground, and we still weren't able to find kind of the beginning. So I'm like, forget it. Let's go back where we went yesterday and we'll get to where we need to be. But look what I found in our path today. So today, there happened to be a tree, I guess probably last night, that fell all the way across a road up through there. I don't have a chainsaw with me. I know I could get through it with that. Didn't bring that, and it's definitely too big to try to winch out of the way. It's actually stuck, kind of wedged in between a tree over there. So that's where we're at right now. But where we need to be is just beyond the path up there. So this actually brings up just a really good point, a good experience when you're out in these national forests. A couple things to take note of. Number one, you want to bring some sort of map with you. All the national forests have a map of their roads and all that. I'm using Gaia GPS, which has uploaded maps from them. I can tell you Gaia, for the most part, has been good, showing me like what we're on right now is on the National Forest map. However, there are a lot of branches off of this that are not on Gaia. Also, Gaia is obviously not going to tell you when there happens to be a massive tree that fell overnight in your path. So things to note are that when you're out in these national forests and you're kind of venturing out, things can change overnight. You know, I mean, I've just been sitting here thinking, well, what if we camped back there overnight? And this is kind of the only road in and out of this area. We'd be stuck in having to figure out how to clear that out. So again, when you're out, I mean, we're just out messing around. We're staying not too far from here. But another tool that probably want to have in your bag is if you're going to do these explorations through a national forest is some sort of chainsaw, saw. I mean, we've got the winch, but in this case, the winch isn't going to be strong enough to move that. So just important things to take note of. So with this being the only road back into where I need to be to get back to that mud pit, it looks like this is going to be the end of the video for today. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Sorry we couldn't make it. We gave it a good effort. Stay tuned for more videos coming up. We're going to be hitting probably some sand dunes, and then we're going to get back on the road. We're going to go through Indiana and start heading east. So please continue to follow us along on our adventures. We've got pretty exciting things coming up soon for Prodigal Overland, some changes, so you're going to hear about those coming in the next few weeks. Anyway, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for your time and have a great day.